Welcome to Wisdom Trek with Gramps. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, and we are on day 2390 of our trek. The purpose of Wisdom Trek is to create a legacy of wisdom, to seek out discernment and insights, and to boldly grow where few have chosen to grow before. In today's Wisdom Nugget, I'll guide you through the vast landscapes of biblical wisdom. Today we continue our journey through the profound insights of Ecclesiastes. We'll be diving in Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verses 8 through 14 from the New Living Translation. These verses offer practical advice on the consequences of foolish actions, the importance of wisdom and work, and the impact of our words. Let's set out on our trek together as we uncover the wisdom that Solomon shares with us. Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verses 8 through 14. When you dig a well, you might fall in. When you demolish an old wall, you could be bitten by a snake. When you work in a quarry, stones might fall and crush you. When you chop wood, there is danger with each stroke of your axe. Using a dull axe requires great strength, so sharpen the blade. That's the value of wisdom. It helps you to succeed. If a snake bites you before you charm it, what is the use of being a snake charmer? Wise words bring approval, but fools are destroyed by their own words. Fools base their thoughts on foolish assumptions, so their conclusions will be wicked madness. They chatter on and on. No one really knows what's going to happen. No one can predict the future. Solomon begins this passage by highlighting the inherent dangers in everyday activities. In verses 8 and 9 he says, "When you dig a well, you might fall in. When you demolish an old wall, you could be bitten by a snake. When you work in a quarry, stones might fall and crush you. When you chop wood, there is danger with each stroke of your axe." These verses illustrate that many tasks we undertake comes with risk. Whether it's digging, demolishing, quarrying, or chopping wood, each activity carries its potential for harm. This serves as a reminder to approach work with caution and awareness. While we can't eliminate all risk, we can mitigate them by being mindful of the dangers and taking appropriate precautions. Wisdom in our work means understanding the risk and preparing adequately to avoid unnecessary harm. In verse 10, Solomon shifts to the importance of wisdom in making our efforts more effective. Using a dull axe requires great strength, so sharpen the blade. That's the value of wisdom. It helps you to succeed. This analogy with a dull axe emphasizes that working harder isn't the solution. Working smarter is. A sharp axe makes the task of chopping wood easier and more efficient, just as wisdom makes our efforts more productive and less strenuous. Applying wisdom to our work means seeking the most effective methods and tools, planning carefully, and being prepared. It's about making decisions that maximize our efforts that lead to success with less struggle. Just as sharpening the axe requires time and effort, acquiring wisdom takes intentionality and dedication, but the rewards are well worth it. In verse 11, it provides us with an interesting metaphor. If a snake bites you before you charm it, what's the use of being a snake charmer? This suggests that having the skill or knowledge is useless if not applied properly. A snake charmer who gets bitten before performing the skills fails this purpose. This highlights the importance of timely and appropriate application of our skills and knowledge. Wisdom is not about just what we know, but how and when to use what we know. In verses 12 through 14, Solomon contrasts the outcome of wise words with foolish talk. Wise words bring approval, but fools are destroyed by their own words. Fools base their thoughts on foolish assumptions, so their conclusions are wicked madness. They chatter on and on. No one really knows what's going to happen. No one can predict the future. Wise words, according to Solomon, bring approval and positive outcomes. They are thoughtful, measured, and constructive. In contrast, fools are often undone by their own words. They speak without thinking, base their thoughts on false premises, and ultimately reach harmful conclusions. This results in what Solomon calls wicked madness, a state of confusion and destruction brought on by their own foolishness. Moreover, fools tend to talk excessively, without substance or understanding. Their endless chatter contrasts sharply with the measured, purposeful speech of the wise. This endless talking without understanding or purpose often leads to negative consequences, demonstrating the importance of thoughtful and restrained communications. Solomon concludes this section by acknowledging the unpredictability of the future. No one really knows what's going to happen. No one can predict the future. This statement underscores the limitation of human knowledge and the folly of pretending to have certainty about the future. Wisdom involves recognizing our limitations and preparing for the uncertainty rather than making bold and baseless predictions. This humility before an unknown future aligns with the broader biblical theme of trusting God's sovereignty and seeking His guidance. While we can't predict the future, we can live wisely, make thoughtful decisions, and prepare the best as possible, trusting that God holds the future in His hands. As we reflect on Solomon's words for Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verses 8 through 14, several key takeaways emerge. The first one is, approach your work with caution. Many tasks involve inherent risk. Wisdom involves being aware of the risk and taking appropriate precautions to avoid harm. Second is to work smarter, not harder. Wisdom makes our efforts more effective and less strenuous. Just as a sharp axe is more effective than a dull one, wise planning and preparation leads to greater success. Third, apply skills appropriately. Having skills or knowledge is insufficient. We must use them wisely and at the right time. Proper application of our abilities is crucial for achieving our goals. Fourth, the power of words. Wise words bring positive outcomes, while foolish talk can lead to destruction. Thoughtful, measured speech is far more valuable than excessive, thoughtless chatter. And fifth, recognize the limits of human knowledge. No one can predict the future with certainty. Wisdom involves knowledge of our limitations and preparing for an uncertainty with humility and trusting God's sovereignty. How can we apply these lessons into our daily lives? Start by approaching your task with caution and awareness of the risk being involved. Whether at work or home or community, be mindful of the potential dangers and take steps to mitigate them. This could mean using safety equipment, seeking advice, or simply being more attentive to your surroundings. Focus on working smarter rather than harder. Look for ways to make your efforts more efficient and effective. This could involve investing in better tools, learning new skills, or planning more thoroughly. Remember that a bit of wisdom can go a long way in making your work more productive and less taxing. Ensure you apply your skills and knowledge appropriately. Consider the timing and context of your actions, and make sure that you use your ability most effectively. Don't rush into things without proper preparation, and be ready to adapt as the situation changes. Be mindful of your words. Aim to speak with wisdom, thoughtfulness, and purpose. Avoid excessive, thoughtless chatter, and strive to communicate in a way that builds up and brings positive outcomes. Your words have power. Using them wisely can make a significant difference in your relationship and endeavors. Finally, embracing the uncertainty of the future with humility. Recognizing that while we can't predict what will happen, we can prepare by living wisely and trusting God's guidance. Seek His wisdom and direction in your decisions, and rest in the assurance that He holds the future. As we continue on our trek through life, let's carry these insights with us. Approach your task with caution, work smarter, apply your skills wisely, speak thoughtfully, and embrace the uncertainty of the future with humility and trust in God. By doing so, we align ourselves with Solomon's timeless wisdom and navigate life's complexities with grace and purpose. Join me the next time as we delve deeper into the wisdom of Ecclesiastes. Until then, keep seeking God's wisdom, cherish each moment, and continue making a positive impact in the world around you. And if you found this podcast insightful, please subscribe and leave us a review. Then encourage your friends and family to join us and come along with us tomorrow for another day of Wisdom Trek, creating a legacy. Thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide, your mentor, and most importantly, I am your friend as I serve you through the Wisdom Trek podcast and journal. As we take this trek of life together, let us always live abundantly, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, lend to others generously, lead with integrity, and leave a living legacy each day. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy your journey, and create a great day every day. See you next time for more daily wisdom.